Hey folks, welcome to our new segment, Co-op Reviews. Our goal in our reviews is to break down our thoughts on a game we've played and share our opinions to determine if it's something you should pick up for you and your friends, or if it's something maybe you should avoid, or maybe you should go it alone. In this episode, we're talking about A Way Out.
On the surface, A Way Out seems like a fairly simple concept. Work with a partner to escape from prison. However, most of the game revolves around contextual events, which has the player press buttons or rotate the analog sticks to complete a set of predefined actions.
The game, for the most part, is an interactive movie that forces the players to act out a scene in a specific manner with little to no variation on how to complete it. Most of the time, it's a colors by numbers style list of things to do, with only the real choice being option A or option B, with the result generally being the same.
About halfway to two-thirds way through the game, A Way Out seems to change its formula, which does allow for more open gameplay feel, but it's also very short-lived and comes too late to really affect the overall experience. We were surprised that the game did expand beyond just escape from prison, but from how the game was initially advertised and pushed, we felt that the prison escape scenario was undercut by the rest of the game simply due to its brevity.
Now, A Way Out is a co-op campaign, plain and simple. It's a narrative-driven game that relies heavily on spoken dialogue and cutscenes to move it along. It's a story you will experience with a friend rather than a game you'll aim to complete or win. Unlike other games, this is the only means to really play A Way Out. The game is uncommon in that there is no option to play it solo or with an AI partner. You must bring a player too.
You can play A Way Out locally or online, but in a rather odd, though well-implemented development choice, the game is forced split screen regardless of how you play. We suspect the reasoning being that since there is so much story going on, even when the characters do not share the same space or location, players would feel as if they were missing large sections of plot if they could only see the respective characters' story and events.
While we believe the story should be experienced by as many people as possible, it's hard to argue that A Way Out holds any replay value. Since you do see both characters on screen 98% of the time, you get the full story with every playthrough. With so little player choice, there's very little, if any, reason to go back and try it a different way.
The game is not only unconventional in its forced split screen and forced co-op, but also fairly uncommon in its pricing, at a cost well below standard AAA price from a AAA company. With the added benefit that only half the people playing it are required to buy it, it's really hard to argue with the game's value.
A Way Out offers the ability to let your second player download a limited version of the game, which allows them to play the game in its entirety, but only as long as you've invited them to the game. The second player won't be able to start their own game with this limited copy.
Graphically, the game looks great. That being said, great means it doesn't look any worse than we'd expect by today's standards. Motion capture, both in-body animation and the facial movements, were on point. Nothing stood out as excessively poor or even subpar, really. Due to the game lacking stylistically, however, with some exception given to the split screen altering its size to fit with the narrative happening at the time, the game does come off a bit standard. But it's a good standard to be at.
When it comes to multiplayer, connecting to your friends in a game is important. Thankfully, A Way Out utilizes Origin's easy-to-use join game feature, which instantly connects you to whomever you're playing with. While we did not get to experience A Way Out on Xbox or PS4, we imagine the standard ease of those consoles bring to joining multiplayer games goes without saying. That being said, if you are playing on a PC, both players must have a free-to-make Origin account to both download and play their respective copies. With its heavy focus on narrative, this game certainly focuses on the casual gamer. As we've mentioned, you're playing an interactive movie in a sense, so you won't find much action or puzzle solving here. Due to its harsh language throughout the game, however, we'll leave it up to you to whom you'd want to share it with.
So now that we've gone over A Way Out, it's time to give our personal rating. We don't really like doing stars or out of tens, so we're going to keep this simple. We're sharing our opinions by either telling you that we're co-opting in, co-opting out, or possibly telling you to go it alone.
With A Way Out, despite its limitations and our personal negative views on some aspects, we generally prefer a more challenging game, We actually give this a strong co-opt in. A Way Out is a great game, even if it doesn't have much replayability. We feel a single playthrough is strong enough to be enjoyable and talk about with your friends, and the price point is the cherry on top. So when you get a chance, co-opt in with A Way Out and your friends.
We hope that you enjoyed this review. Look for future reviews on Mondays, as we play many other games going forward.
Well, that's all for today. Our characters were created by the talented David Booth, and if you like our music, then take a peek at Sean Daly and his other work. If you enjoyed A Way Out and want to co-opt in with a session with your own friends, you can find A Way Out on PS4, Xbox One, and Origin. As always, please make sure to like and subscribe to see more from us, and make sure to click that bell for episode notifications. And lastly, click to my right to find our next episode, as well as our most recent upload. We upload Mondays and Fridays, so stay tuned to Co-opt In.